Bump Up Business episode 3 and 4. I will say I was worried that I wouldn't be able to turn my brain off while watching these episodes, but surprisingly, for the most part, I was easily able to. Honestly, these two episodes had moments of either super cuteness or super sweet.
이대리만 잘 부탁해요.
And I was able to enjoy the episodes without distracting myself for the most part. We do get the first introduction to the major and minor antagonists in this episode, but mainly episode 3 was exhibiting the combination of Eden's inexperience versus JiHoon's experience within the industry, and the latter's mentorship and caring of Eden, mainly by feeding him.
자, 네가 좋아하는 우유랑 과자.
Episode 3 starts off with a bit of a replay of episode 2's ending, but of course it's a fake out as JiHoon imparts some words of advice.
그러니까 조심하라고. 어떻게 될지 모르잖아.
Before the real meat of the episode begins, the
Water Phobia Contest.
The subsequent scenes are interesting to watch as I think it's a lot more lighthearted and comedic until the halfway point of the episode, with Mill and 9 characters acting their part in a comedic duo, with Mill going more over the top with his performance.
콜은 무슨 콜이에요? 그러다 덜컥 500만 뷰 나오면 어쩌려고요? 난 못해!
Trying to avoid the water activity and JiHoon's almost straight man presentation as he goes along with the management's plan while keeping his versions subtle.
라이언 아트, 김지훈, 강희들입니다. 벌써!
Now, I don't imagine I'm the only lion that watched the filming of the pledge video and thought, oh, that's just 9 and Mill right there. But it's interesting to see the facade of their happy-go-lucky nature in the video and the reality that
모든 말씀드리지만 저는 못합니다. 절대 못합니다. 절대!
one thing I love about this particular moment is the editing. As Eden repeats never, the edit cuts to a wider and wider shot, emphasizing Eden's refusal. I get the imagery of Eden shouting it for the non-existent people in the back of the room and way further beyond.
저는 못합니다. 절대 못합니다. 절대!
Unfortunately for him and JiHoon, it falls on deaf ears. I mean, listen, I love a really good evil laugh. So, yeah, this woman is living her best life at the expense of others. But I just really love a good evil laugh, guys.
가자! 500만.
Doubly unfortunate for the boys. They easily hit the pledge goal, where we get to see the hilarious use of skins and beyond music videos as the MV teaser. I mean, it's hilarious because they have to blur out all the members in the music video, especially 2 characters that will be introduced later in this episode. Again, they probably didn't have time to film a fake MV teaser, or they were looking to save money, but having to blur out the other members to make it work feels inelegant, is the best word I can think of. So, the boys lost and they go on their fake dates, but I have to ask,
너 나랑 무슨...
would you rob a bank in this outfit? Joking aside, all the scenes in this car is really cute as Eden has this starry-eyed wonder to the entire promotional date from the fans following them. That taxi driver wants to end himself. JiHoon continuously feeding Eden and Eden mulling over all of JiHoon's advice.
네? 짠 하고 나타난다고요? 간지나게 망가져요?
야, 뭘 그렇게 중얼거려?
But the most interesting thing for me was the flashback scene of Eden sitting in bed texting JiHoon as they attempt to get to know each other to sell the BGP concept of their group. This one scene of Eden's long-winded text of his food likes, I feel is conveyed really well, but mainly because the subtitles do a great job of enhancing this small shot and the wall of text that is coming JiHoon's way. Like, Without the subtitles, I'm not sure that small text increasing in size from the bottom left corner would efficiently convey the word vomit that's happening. I love it, and I'm not sure if I've ever seen subtitles enhance a viewing experience like that.
조현빈의 작은 음악회. 아, 진짜 너무 좋은 것인데요.
Now, the most important part of this episode, we get our first introduction to the show's antagonist. There was a sort of soft introduction to KB's character Do Hyunbin in the first episode as he appears in the music video during Do-hoon's character exposition dump.
요즘 최정상에 있는 도연빈과 이미 한 차례 듀엣을 결성하여 활동한 바가 있어.
But now we get to see a bit of interaction between them, and boy, these expressions say it's complicated. There's so much conflict on Do-hoon's face that speaks of a deep history with each other, and that whatever happened between them was significant. Of course, I read the webcomic, so I know what happened, and it isn't good! Now, I won't lie, when I saw Kyubin's performance from the promotional character introduction video, I wasn't sure I was going to like what I was getting. It read as cartoony villain, and I was very unsure whether I would accept the portrayal. But seeing these scenes, I think I'm going to be on board for whatever he brings, because KB didn't even need to speak, and there seemed to be a sliminess to the character. Maybe it's because my prior knowledge of the webcomic, maybe the piano notes are hitting the right notes, but he exuded villain aura, and the character is a definite departure from what us lions usually see from his on-camera persona. But combining the outlandishness of this with the subtlety of this,
조만간에 생길 것 같네.
I think I'm going to have to interpret this as Hyunbin hiding the fact that he is a dramatic bastard. And then I remember the details of the webcomic and must add that Hyunbin is a possessive dramatic bastard. After that, we get to see Eden and JiHoon doing their promotional dates with a nod to the future trouble to come.
그런데 제이 어디서 본 것 같단 말이야.
And off they go water skiing. Now, my commentary from episode 1 about them having to blur out UFC on Eden's shirt proved to be correct. But interestingly enough, it was actually really easy for me to ignore as the text was on a plain white background. I guess the pattern of having UFC written all over the purple shirt made the blur effect stand out more. Otherwise, we finish off episode 3 with the ice cream kiss as it's dubbed in the next episode. But honestly, to me, the look on Eden's face, "Why did you eat my ice cream?" Episode 4! It's here. If you were there for the build-up of Bump Up Business, you knew exactly what was coming up. The episode opens up with a time jump to later in the day after their promotional date. Eden and JiHoon get to know each other more as they explore more personal questions about their life, like Eden's first love. Now, in the webcomic, it described Eden's first love and finding out that his childhood friend was a boy and not a girl as, traumatic? It's an interesting choice of words, but thankfully the show doesn't call it traumatic, and while they don't explicitly express it, I imagine the event is meant to be interpreted as Eden's first realization and apprehension with his sexuality. Eden's confession probably eases something between JiHoon and Eden, though I will say this moment.
그럼 우리가 하는 컨셉 괴롭진 않아?
아니요. 괜찮아요. 일이니까.
그래. 일이니까.
It must have really hurt JiHoon to have his own words thrown back in his face.
딱히 기분 안 나빠. 일이니까.
Yes, sir. You didn't know it, but you almost shot yourself in the foot there. Almost because the kissing be oncoming. The opening OST Evergreen comes blasting in, and as many times as I joked of JiHoon making a pass at Eden, this is his actual first pass.
이든아.
네?
어차피 비즈니스라며. 넌 어디까지 가능한데? 비즈니스니까 키스 정도는 괜찮겠지?
Now, there is one oddity in this entire scene, and it's this moment. The only reason I can think of this section being here is that they wanted to represent JiHoon thinking about kissing Eden, mainly because of this image. Because while the style of the still images popping up harkens back to its use during the photo shoot and the ice cream kiss, there's no photography shutter sound effect as if someone is taking a picture, and the kiss hadn't happened yet when this image shows up. But in the end, this scene is a weird interruption. Imagining that someone in production thought that they needed to add something in order to give a reason why JiHoon was asking for a kiss, but we don't need it. We can see it. Like, this is a look of a man making a realization. Him asking for a kiss tells us exactly how he feels. So unless the production just wanted an excuse to have this image out in the world, because let me tell you, there are quite a few angles of this kiss to see, it was absolutely an unneeded stylistic addition. The only question I have in this glamping scene is, what is this? This word, this subtitle, because it showed up a few times and I tried to look it up and I still have no clue of its context in this scene. Only that it has something to do with alcohol bottles and shot glasses. But the definition, it's not matching. I honestly really don't know. I just don't know. I would love an explanation, please. Thank you, please. But moving on, Eden's feeling fantastic the next morning.
아이고 머리야.
As an aside, I was curious about the posters on the wall behind Eden and looked it up to see if they were Emotion Studios' other productions, and yes, they are, as the images matches those from their Instagram page. But you don't care about that, because it turns out Eden was blackout drunk. Proceed to a flashback of a very cute drunk Eden.
진영.
And a very despairing manager. Is it horrible that I'm enjoying the manager's despair? And don't answer that, I know it's terrible, but the actress is really selling the it's late,
제발 저 좀 도와주세요.
I'm tired,
제발 저 좀 도와주세요.
please let's all just go home.
제발 저 좀 도와주세요.
시끄럽고 말 타.
But my goodness, the conversation between JiHoon and the manager about taking care of Eden?
다정 매니저가 저보다 이든이 더 잘 챙겨주고 신경 써주면 고맙겠어요.
네, 제 불신과도 같은 라이온 하트. 제가 잘 챙겨야죠.
I might die, or maybe I have died. Did anyone die and not realize it?
괜찮아요. 이든이만 잘 부탁해요.
Speaking of not realizing it, JiHoon enters the scene in quite a happy mood, but I'm sorry, sir. Things are going to take a downturn from here. Because Do Hyunbin is a possessive, dramatic bastard.
그거 섭외가 들어왔어. 도현빈한테 직접.
이게 무슨...
And Eden doesn't remember anything about the kiss.
꼬리는 또 뭐지? 저 어제 실수 안 했죠?
너 기억이 안 나?
그게 제 첫사랑 얘기한 것까진 기억이 나는데
참 어쩐지. 다시는 술 마시지 마라.
네? 뭐지?
Now, apparently, according to some lines on Twitter, this is possibly a very aggressive version of the dance Nine did in the Time Leap music video. I see the similarities. Either way, it was funny reading those Twitter posts because now I'm just getting a strange rock metal version of Time Leap in my head. But to the heart of the scene, we get Eden feeding JiHoon this time, which, by the way,
아, 선배님.
또
I've played this tiny section multiple times because it's adorable. And it's a nice scene that shows Eden's effort at getting to know his bandmate and that he's aware that JiHoon was in a bad mood and wanted to make him feel better. Of course, JiHoon can't help feeding Eden, but it really is sweet. Oh god, now they're feeding each other. Bub, please have mercy.
대상처럼 나타난 두 남자의 첫 무대 사랑스러운 듀오 라이언하트가 노래합니다. 라이언하트의 에버그린.
And then Lionheart has their first stage performance, so I guess it's good they fed each other since they need to keep their energy up. Though reading the subtitle reminds me I should find an English translation of evergreen lyrics. Now this part, I did laugh out loud at the show imitating the ending fairies you would see on the music show performances. But then it pulls out to a wide shot and there's no camera or cameraman on stage to have these shots make logical sense. But obviously someone went, to hell with logic. Now, one thing I really like in this next scene is the music. The piano notes have a very light-hearted feel as JiHoon compliments Eden until Hyunbin, our resident possessive dramatic bastard, runs into the room changing the mood. The piano notes take on something more somber and secretive,
넌 여전히 딱딱하네. 몸도 마찬가지고.
but does pick up a slight lighter tone when JiHoon attempts to affirm Eden as his new partner to Hyunbin.
둘도 없는 사이라. 지금 나한테 둘도 없는 사이는 강희든이지.
Poor Eden's completely oblivious to all the tension that is happening. Kyubin had been continuously making claims on JiHoon, and JiHoon not even wanting to look at Hyunbin.
내 프로그램 나오기로 한 거 있지 않았지? 이든 씨, 그때 다시 봐요.
네.
Eden looks so happy to be a part of Hyunbin's show that, oh god, protect him. Protect him also, but protect him. He doesn't know.
작은 음악회 그거 나가기로 했어요? 정말 잘 됐네요.
And that's the end of episode 4. I really don't have much to end things off here. I may have been distracted with all the cute and sweet moments on display, but there seems to be less production things for me to nitpick at. I will say I'm going to be releasing episode 5 and 6 commentary at a bit of a later date because I am going on vacation. I have other things I need to prioritize, so that's going to be later. And so, 7 to 6. It seems iQIYI has finally released episode 5 and 6. I'm not sure what happened. It's supposed to release on Thursday at 9 p.m. for me, but I no idea. But I guess they got a lot of complaints, maybe. Either way, thank you for watching. If you have any comments of anything I said or things that you have noticed yourself in the show, please leave it in the comments down below. Either way, have a good day and find someone you can feed your food with.